Alright guys, welcome back to another loadout building video. Last week we did something quite unique with the blue and gold style loadout, and I'm going to continue that today because we're going to take a look at a green and orange loadout, which is something that I've actually toyed with myself a few times in the past and considered, and I think it looks pretty good across the board. Before we dive into it, we do have a giveaway for today, and it's going to be for an AK-47 skin, and it is going to be a minimum wear ice cold. I've not really waffled too much about the ice cold recently, but it is still one of the best budget AK skins in the game, which is actually a pretty good fit for a green loadout because of that green into the blue. All you have to do to enter is make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then leave a comment down below. I'll pick the winner in a few days time on stream, and we'll also announce it in Discord so you don't miss it. So make sure you're in the Discord link down below, and let's get into this lovely loadout. Giveaways like this are possible thanks to today's sponsor, Skinport. Skinport is the best place to buy and sell your Counter-Strike skins with a fast, smooth, easy, and secure experience for both buyers and sellers. It's also considerably cheaper compared to buying on the Steam market. Take this AK-47 Vulcan, for example, which is 23% cheaper on Skinport.
Damn good deal.
Whether you're looking to cash out your CS2 inventory or you're looking for new skins, Skinport will have everything you need. With no buying fees, a great Trustpilot rating, and over 1 million skins available at any time, why wouldn't you buy your CS skins on Skinport? Make sure you check the links below, and thanks to Skinport for sponsoring today's video. Now, you could very much use the combo I have for this sort of video, but I have something different that I have showcased in the past. So, the knife and glove combo is going to be Turtle Gloves minimal wear. These are Motos, which are about $250, paired with a Stiletto Tiger Tooth factory new, which is about $410, making this combo $660 in total. Now, you can technically go for any Tiger Tooth you want. You can go lower, higher, whatever. I quite like the Stiletto. I think nice all-rounded, like S-tier knife. You got good animations, and the finish looks incredible on this. Now, I said green and orange. The reason I've gone for the orange knife here is because the Turtle Gloves have accents of orange, which makes them perfect for this sort of green and orange loadout. Now, that's the combo. Let's have a look at the filler skins and then the main skins. So we'll kick it off with the MP9, which is going to be the Hydra. Just over the $7 mark for this in minimal wear. All these prices, by the way, are from the 20th of June, so there shouldn't be too much fluctuation. This is without a doubt the best MP9 skin you're going to use for this. Now, for the Mac10, honestly, a last dive could have worked really well here because it's got that kind of like teal and orange pattern, but I want to start showing some love to the Allur again because this in minimal wear is $50, and I love the artwork on it. I think the only thing this is missing is a more sort of glossy, shiny finish, but it's a great skin. Now, over on the P250, you may have been thinking I was going to go for a seal leader, but instead I'm going to go for a field tester Azimov, which is about $2.20, and this is because as much as green skins will look good as the Turtle Gloves, I do want to get some contrast in here that pairs in with those orange accents. So you see here, the orange accents of the gloves are visible, and then you've got the greys and the greys of the gloves that fit in with the black on the skin too. Now, the Take 9, I am going for a good old faithful green skin. It's going to be the Bamboozle because minimal wear for this is for just over $50 is really nice. And although I'm using a Meow 36 in my own green loadout now, I don't want to suggest that for you guys. I think going for an Eye of Athena is actually a really nice play here. It is $6 in minimal wear, but it gets some bits of green on it, not crazy, but there are elements of this sort of greeny or teal color in it, and then it's got lots of orange and brown, so I think overall it actually blends quite nicely with the gloves that we have. Maybe this is a better angle for you. And then for the Gale, I do want to play in on the orange accents. Now, I have realized you don't actually see any orange accents at all for the gloves here unless you inspect it. But because of the grey of the knife, I actually think the grey of the gloves, it actually fits in quite nicely. Now, your alternative here would have been an Eco, which is a bit cheaper, but I think $15 for an orange DD pad, it's something a bit different. Now, the 5.7 has a really nice choice in the Angry Mob. Now, I say a really nice choice because it's got green, it's got orange. Yes, it has some blue, white, and pink on it too, but under $5 this in minimal wear, this is going to be a real nice weapon to have for those like low buy rounds that you still want to have some impact on. Really like this skin. Then for the jewelers, I'm just going to go all out on the twin turbos. Now, these don't have any orange on them. They've got red and they've got yellow, but there's a lot of green and a decent amount of white. So $3.43 for these in minimal wear. Maybe a little bit higher than you would expect to pay for some jewelries, but they do look really good. The SG continues to have a no-brainer pick. It's actually the same SG I'm using, same condition and everything for my green loadout. Minimal wear, Dragon Tech, 74 cent here. Just the artwork's incredibly good. You get some scoop detail. It ticks every box. And then for the AUG, it is going to be a carved Jade. Now, you'll see the evident wear that exists here. This happens even on Factory New, despite this being almost $16. You need to go for like a 00 one float to get even close to removing this, which normally means going to like $25 to $30 in total, which is like double the cost of a normal factory new. So it depends if that bothers you or not, or if you want to cover it with a sticker. But overall, this is still without a doubt the best AUG skin that you're going to have for your green loadout. And then for the XM, I have one that I think looks pretty nice. It is going to be the Watchdog. Now, I always say that these look really good with Jade gloves, but any green gloves they will look good with as well. And while it's not orange, it does have this bronzy effect, which I think just looks quite nice into the whole aesthetic that we're building with this loadout. Now, we will jump back over to an actual orange skin here for the MP7. It is the Abyssal apparition, which is $2.34 in minimal wear. Now, I do quite like this skin. It's got that same sort of glitch effect that you see with the chromatic aberration. And overall, compared to the green MP7 skins, it's definitely going to be the best option that we have. And then, to end off the sort of bonus skins, we're going to have the Scout. It's going to be the Acid Field. I put $1 for this in Factory New. You can get it cheaper, but I'm just keeping like 20 cents in mind that you may have some overpay to get a nice feed percentage and a good float. But you can see here, this is just pattern 1, just generated random pattern. It looks insane either way, especially for the price that you're paying. But that higher feed percentage, which if I have it on here, I should. Nope, that's the Dragonfire. This is my own acid feed here. You can see with the high feed percentage, it starts to get a little bit sort of amber at the back. But when you're using it in game, you can see how much green actually continues up the gun. And this is a 00 float on, I think it's like an, is it like a 90-ish% feed? Now, that is the filler skins. Before we dive into the main weapons, I want to say a big thank you to the YouTube members that are supporting the channel. That's going to be AJ, Tom, Twin Daddy, Itachi, Screaming Silence, and Bopper. Thank you very much, guys. If you aren't aware, being a YouTube member is like the easiest way to directly support the content that I'm making, and it's greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, check out the join button below this video. It'll give you all the details, and let's look at the main skins now. Now, this is a nice one to check because I'm actually going to be getting a Phase 2 Gamma Doppler myself, and I want to see how they look with the gloves, and honestly, it looks really nice. This is the Phase 2 Gamma Doppler factory new. It's going to run you $70, but God, it looks good. The next jump up would be Emerald, but you're talking like 4, 5, 6 times the price at that point, so not really worth it in my opinion. The USP is another one where I could have gone for like a Monster Mashup or a Road Rash, which is actually my new USP, but I think going for a minimal wear Orion looks really good here. Again, it's one where you do get the orange accents of the gloves around the thumb, and then with the Orion, it actually looks pretty good. Now, I used this for about 2 weeks myself. You will have seen it on stream, and that's kind of why I started to like this combo. For the P2000, I'm going to go for an Acid Etch here. Now, Turf would be better for pure green, but I like this because it's got green and it's got orange on it. And obviously, you've got the chance of getting the Shamrock in it. Now, you could just go Turf, go a bit cheaper if you wanted to, or probably same price actually. But if you want orange and green, the Acid Etch is definitely the best shout. I am going to spend fairly big on the Desert Eagle because I'm going to go for a Fennec Fox here, which is about the $150 mark for field tested souvenir. But again, this is one that I've been using for a while recently, and I actually think it looks pretty damn good with the turtle gloves. Obviously, you've got this kind of orange. It is pretty much this orangey brown color that works well with the accents, and then it's got this sort of bluey teal color, which I think when you're using it here with the gloves, this actually looks pretty good as it is. Like if you're just walking around holding angles with this. And it is a lot to pay for the deagle, but the other option is an Emerald Jurmungandr, which is like double the price. Now, I do have 2 AKs to showcase. The first one that I'm going to go for is the Aquamarine Revenge. $54 for this in minimal wear. I do believe this is a slept-on skin in Counter-Strike. I say it all the time. You just don't see them often in game, and I'm also part of the problem for this because I love this skin, but it's one that I just never went out of my way to purchase. But for the orange, it's definitely there, and then it's got this sort of bluey green. People do class this as a green skin, kind of shows the lack of good green AKs we have, but overall, I think hitting the color palette wise, this is a really good shout. And the alternative would be go for an Azimov. Now, this is kind of, again, this is one I've been using for the last couple of weeks. If you guys aren't aware, I've got an Azimov with some VP glitters in Battle Scarred. I'm trying to get the 10k kills on Stat Track as part of a community challenge, but I've just been using it, and I kind of liked how it looks. So maybe if you get some like hollows that have this kind of orange and green on them, it could work really well. And this is $25 for field testing. Now, all I hope is that in the near future we get a better green M4A1 S and M4A4, but we don't have them yet, so we are going to have to go for a MOS Quart in factory new, which is $60. This is considerably expensive for what it is. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite skin in the game, but with the right sticker craft, you can at least make it look good. Now, I had a plan, but I'm going to speed run 3 alternative options for super cheap if you don't like the MOS Quartz. First one, going to be the Braille Forest. You can get this in factory new for just over $1. Wouldn't be my preference out of the 3 I'm going to show, but you have it. Then we have the M4A1 S Flashback, which is about 60 cents for minimal wear. I do prefer this over the Braille Forest. Again, the green isn't a perfect mix, but I do think it looks pretty good. It's much nicer. And then my preference of the 3 cheaper ones, I think actually looks quite good with the turtle gloves, is going to be the Infosaurus S. This is under $1 for minimal wear. These are the alternative M4A1Ss if you don't like the MOS Quarts, and honestly, I think I might end up using this myself if I move away from the Welcome to the Jungle. Now, the M4A4, you could go for a Jungle Tiger, but I'm going to say for the green and the orange, I think it's worth going for an in-living color, because obviously it's multicolored. You got pink, you got blue, you got purples in this, you got yellows, everything. But you do also have green and orange, so I think overall this can fit in pretty well, and this is what I'm going to be using for my own loadout moving forward. And then the final skin is the op. Now, you could consider an Azimov op if you wanted to. I'm going to go for a Containment Breach here, because I just really like this skin. I have gone for minimal wear, which is almost $110. If you're okay with a bit of wear on it, you can save like basically half the cost and go for it and field test it. Not quite half, but you save a good chunk if you go for this in field test instead. But that's going to round out the loadout. I could go for the Azimov as well, but I think the Containment Breach just looks sick in comparison. And that's going to round off the orange and green loadout for today, which, just to remind you guys, the combo you're seeing now is $660. With all the weapon skins in mind, this comes to $1,217, which is actually, in my opinion, a pretty good price for a loadout that's got a, I'm going to say, S-tier knife, good mid-tier gloves, but in minimal wear. So the big thing with the gloves here, I know people don't like moto gloves, I know the turtles aren't the favorite for green gloves, but these are minimal wear and clean as hell for the $250 that you're paying for them. And overall, I think this gives us a pretty nice and unique loadout. I think this is something that's really cool, and I am going to try more of it moving forward. Obviously, we've done the blue and gold, we've done the green and orange. If you guys have any color combos you want to see paired together, like two colors, and see what we can combine, please let me know in the comments down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. And then just to remind you guys of the giveaway for today's video, it is going to be the AK-47 Ice Cold in minimal wear. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That's how you enter. I will pick the winner in a few days' time. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate all the support on the channel recently, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Goodbye.